Hello, my name is Michaela Haywood, and this chapter is titled Culturally Relative Teaching. And so I'm just going to go over some of the salient points that I found in this chapter. So the first one is culturally relevant teaching, also known as CRT. Is defined as an approach to instruction founded on the belief in equity, education, and value of social justice. So it also responds to socio-cultural context of students' needs and the integration of students' cultural and social capital. So that includes their experiences, expectations, the knowledge they have coming into the class, their family knowledge, and their values. So their values play a huge part in the way that they learn, along with their cultural background. As we know, culture shapes how people learn, and the culture individuals have grown up with may have taught them different goals when it comes to school or just life in general. So moving forward, we have creating culturally relative lessons. So some of the points were about chunking, integrating student experiences, and then asking ourselves questions before we get started creating these lessons. So chunking is breaking up material into smaller pieces so that information can be easily processed. So an example of that would be, say you have students in the classroom with several different backgrounds. You may have students that have no information on, I'm just going to say, social media. Social media is not as huge of a thing in other places as it is in the US. So chunking that would be maybe giving examples of what social media is, and then having students explore different platforms of social media before diving into maybe the effects of social media or how social media can be used. And then we have integrating student experiences. So that's you want to choose topics they know about and can have an opinion on. So mostly think about students' backgrounds and issues that students may be dealing with. I know one that is usually used is bullying, because bullying is a huge thing in schools. So maybe asking students to think about a time they have been bullied, or if they know anyone that has been bullied, and share those experiences while going through lessons. And then before creating lessons, teachers must ask themselves questions about what students value and more. So some of those questions were, what motivates students? Do they work best in groups, individually? Do they like projects? And then what is their preferred learning style? Some students may be more visual learners, some may be more hands-on, some more independent and just read material and pick it up. And then have you already presented the big picture of the content? So that's kind of giving background knowledge and then allowing students to access that background knowledge before actually teaching. And then will students know where this new knowledge or skill fits in with what they have already learned? So I ask myself that all the time when I'm thinking of new lessons. I try to tell students, like, so we're building off of what you've already learned. This is how it fits in, so they know directly how everything they have learned ties together. Another question is, what examples from students' lives can you integrate into the lesson to create bridges from what they know to the new content and skills you are teaching? So that one for me is a little bit harder, just because sometimes, especially during my first year of teaching, I wasn't really aware of all of my students' backgrounds because I hadn't met them face to face, and I didn't gather that much information before teaching them. So that was definitely a question that I struggle with, but we'll continue to explore in the future. So yeah, those are some of my salient points from chapter 3.